welcome to my channel. My name is Dina. Thank you so much for being here. On this episode of the Rainbow Shadow series, we're going to be dipping into a magenta eyeshadow. So if you're interested in seeing a magenta eyeshadow tutorial, then I'll see you back in a sec. So if you're new to my channel, I always like to start off with an eyeshadow primer. My favorite eyeshadow primer is the Shop Miss A eyeshadow primer. It is a liquid to cream eyeshadow primer that you have to apply with a synthetic brush. So just be sure to take it from your lower lash line all the way up to underneath your eyebrow and then wait for it to dry completely. Now once your eyeshadow primer is dry completely, now we're going to move on to a base color eyeshadow. So I'm going to be dipping into my basic eyeshadow palette. If you need help picking out a basic eyeshadow palette for your specific skin tone, I help you pick one out in my eyeshadow tutorial video. So just refer back to that video and then come on back to this video so that way we can be on the same page in achieving this magenta eyeshadow look. So I'm going to be starting off with this white shade right over here, and I'm going to be using my really big blending brush from e.l.f. Now all the brushes that I'm going to be using, I am going to link them for you down below, and they're all under $8, so very inexpensive. So I'm just going to coat both sides of my brush, and then take this flat white shade and take it all over my eyelid. So this is going to act as a base for any color, so that way when we do go in with any color, it just goes on really soft and really smoothly, and it does blend easily. Perfect, so very simple. Now once you're done applying that flat white color and setting your eyelid primer, now you want to move on to a flesh tone color. So we're not going to dip into anything too bronzy or too brown just yet. It's going to be way too harsh of a contrast of color because you want your eyeshadow to be very seamless and you want to add color gradually. You don't want to sit there and start blending, you know, and have this huge mess at the end. So in order to achieve a very smooth and very seamless blended eyeshadow look, I recommend building your eyeshadow colors. Now using that same exact brush, if you don't have multiple brushes to work with, Shop Miss A has this really great in-between eyeshadow brush cleaner that you can take your brush and just sweep it over, and it does clean your brushes in between uses. So like I said, if you don't have that many brushes to choose from, I highly recommend this. It is only $1 and it's just a great thing to add to your makeup kit just so that way you can clean your brushes in between uses. So now I'm going to take that really big eyeshadow brush and I'm going to dip into my flesh tone crease color. Your flesh tone crease color will either be a little bit on the warmer side, it can be neutral, or it can have a little bit of a pink undertone. My skin tone is a little bit neutral, so my flesh tone crease color is a little bit more of a neutral undertone that has a little bit more of a pink tone to it. So honestly, it just depends on your skin type. But you can see how after I'm placing this flesh tone crease color right in the crease that it doesn't look super harsh and it doesn't look very brown. So now I'm going to take that same exact color and do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to apply it right in the crease. So just take your brush and do really large windshield wiper movements. So just go back and forth from the outside corner all the way to the inside corner, because you do want everything to look really soft and really blended. And I didn't really apply too much eyeshadow, I just did one coat. So now I'm going to dip into this color right over here so you can see it's a little bit bronzy. So now we're going to gradually start making our eyeshadow just a little bit deeper. So I'm going to take this bronzy color. If you don't have a bronzy color, just use your bronzer. You can totally get away with that. Be sure to tap off the excess just so that way you don't have any fallout on your face. And then you're going to take this bronzy color and you're going to place it right at the outside corner of your eye. We are still focusing on the crease, so we're not taking anything on the eyelid and we're not taking anything underneath the eyebrow or on the inside corner. So as you can see, I am still focusing on the crease. Great, so once you're done applying that bronzy color on that side, go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Great, now once you're done applying that bronzy tone color into your crease, now we're going to take our blending brush. So you should always have a brush that is specifically used just for blending. So absolutely no pigment. We're not going to be taking this brush and dipping it into our palette. Just keep one for blending. So now I'm just going to take the tip of the brush and I'm just going to blend the work that we just did. So I'm not going to move any of the pigment. I'm not going to take it up underneath my brow. You can see how I'm just focusing right on the work that I just did. This will remove any excess pigment, and also too, it will make sure that you don't have any harsh lines, just so that way your eyeshadow is super smoky and super blended out. So before you move on to the next eye, just wipe it off on your hand or on a tissue or on the in-between brush cleaner, whatever you prefer. And then just take the tip of the brush and go back and forth and really make sure that everything is blended. Great. So now that we're done doing the top part of our eyelids, you do want to be sure to add some sort of color to your lower lash line. If you don't put any eyeshadow underneath your lower lash line, it could overall just be a little bit heavy and a little bit too made up on the top part of your eyes. So now I'm going to take this really beautiful cool tone brown. So whenever doing your lower lash line, if you are new to my channel, you do want to avoid anything with a lot of red pigment. So as you can see, this eyeshadow does have a lot of red. If you do put any red color underneath your lower lash line, it can make overall your eyes look red. So just stay away from that specific color whenever doing your lower lash line. So for that specific reason, I'm going to dip in to this cool tone brown color right over here, and I'm going to show you at the end how it really does just make your eyeshadow look more connected and more seamless. So for this step, you're going to need a handheld mirror, so go ahead and grab your handheld mirror. Tap off the excess. Really be sure to tap off the excess because you don't want to get any eyeshadow up into your eye. That has happened to me before where I didn't really take off the excess and I did flick some eyeshadow in my eye. So I would hate for that to happen to you. So learn from my mistake and really clean off your brush. So I'm going to tap off the excess and I'm going to take this really soft cool tone brown color and I'm just going to sweep it right up underneath my eyelashes. And I'll show you at the end, I'm just going to dip back in and grab a little bit more. And I'll show you at the end how it really does make your eyeshadow just look more cohesive, makes it look way more seamless. Perfect. So you can see how when I just took a little bit of that eyeshadow and put it right up underneath my eyelash line, it really does connect the lower lashes to the top part of your lashes. So overall, when I look straight into the camera, it just looks less made up. So now I'm going to take that same exact cool tone brown color. And for this specific step, I am using a really small blending brush. I did link it for you down below. This one I specifically use for my lower lash line because it doesn't really give you a harsh concentrated line. It just makes the eyeshadow underneath look really smoky. Now if you do feel comfortable, you can look up. It does get really, really close to your lashes. If not, hold your mirror up really high and that will get you super, super close to your lower lash line. Perfect. Once you're done blending and softening all of your neutral shades, now we're going to start dipping into actual color. So this is the eyeshadow palette that inspired me to do the Rainbow Shadow series. If you are new to my channel, I did link it for you down below. It's very inexpensive and non-toxic. The ingredients are safe. I am an esthetician, and they just overall are so beautiful. They are very, very pigmented, and they come with over 120 eyeshadow shades and textures, so you get some great mattes, shimmers, and sheens. So just overall some really beautiful selection of colors. But since we are doing magenta today, we are going to focus on this pan right over here, but it does come with two pans, so this is just one pan. So I'm going to lift it and show you this one so you can see how this one does come with some really beautiful selections of blues, greens, and yellows. So now I'm going to go ahead and start dipping into some magenta colors. So the very first color that I'm going to dip into is this color right over here. So just a true magenta color. It is the last color on this row. So I'm going to use my medium-sized blending brush and I'm going to coat both sides of my brush. So I'm just going to dip into this color, coating both sides of my brush. And whenever dealing with actual color, you really want to be sure to tap off the excess too, again, just to double check that you don't get any fallout on your face. So now I'm going to take that really pretty true magenta color and I'm just going to start placing it right on my lid. So before we did start placing some neutral colors on our crease, but now we're going to work our way down to our eyelid. So I'm placing it right at the outside corner of my eyelid. So just right over here. And then whatever is left over on your brush, just use that to start sweeping it right into the crease, but I'm not going to take it all the way to the inside corner. I'm just going to place it right over here, so right at the outside corner. And then once I'm done blending back and forth, I'm going to take whatever is left over and take it right to the center of the crease. So now I'm going to take the same exact color and do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to place it right here, right at the outside corner. Perfect, and then whatever is left over on my brush after blending, I'm just going to sweep that into the crease, but I'm just going halfway. Great, now once I'm done applying that fuchsia tone color, now I'm going to dip into this color right over here, so the color that's right next to it. So we just got done doing that like fuchsia magenta. Now I'm going to move right over here, so right next to it. So as you can see, this one is just a little bit darker and a little bit more purple. So I'm just going to coat both sides of my same medium brush. I'm going to tap off the excess either on a tissue or on the back of your hand. Don't just rely on tapping it on your cosmetic. Really be sure to either tap it on something or on a surface just to double check that you really do get all the extra pigment off. So for this shade, I'm going to place it right at the outside corner of my eye. So I'm not going to take this color and start bringing it into the crease. I just want it to be right at the outside corner. So I'm just going to kind of stipple it right in the outside corner, right over here. Great, so you can see how we are starting to incorporate just a little bit darker of a purple, and then it's starting to fade into this magenta color. So now I'm going to take that same exact purple, I'm just going to show it to you one more time, so this color right over here, I'm going to coat both sides of my brush, and then I'm going to tap off the excess, and then I'm also going to tap the excess off right over here just to triple check that we don't have anything on the brush. And then we're going to take this color and we're going to place it just at the outside corner. So you can see how I'm not placing it on my crease, I'm not doing any crazy motions, I'm just placing it right over here. Perfect. Now once you're done applying that color to the outside corner of your eye, now grab your blending brush and we are going to soften and blend just the two colors that we just did. If you are new to my channel, I do like to blend my colors step by step. If you wait until the very end to blend your eyeshadows, you will mix all the colors together. So if you want your eyeshadow just to look really soft and really blended, I recommend doing it step by step after each color. So just very gently start blending that together. Great. So once you're done with that, go ahead and grab your really small brush that we specifically use for our lower lash line. Go ahead and just clean it off just so that way we don't transfer any pigment. Perfect. Now once we're done with that, we are going to dip into that same exact color that we just did and just coat both sides of your really small blending brush. Right, now I'm going to take this color and I'm going to take it right at the outside corner, but I do want to put it now on my lower lash line. So I'm just mirroring the work that we did right at the top part, but I'm doing the same exact thing at the bottom. I really want this look just to be super intense, and I really want to just showcase the purple eyeshadow. So for that reason, I do want it to be a little bit more intense and a little bit more dramatic on the lower lash line. So now I'm going to take that same color with the same brush and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, once you're done applying that color to the outside corner of your eye, take your blending brush and just soften the work that you just did. Great, once you're done softening and blending all the purple colors, now I'm going to start adding a little bit more of a true magenta. So go ahead and grab your medium-sized blending brush and just remove the excess color. And now we're going to dip into the very first shade that we used. So I'm going to coat both sides of my brush, dipping into that first shade. So pretty much it looks kind of identical to my t-shirt, so just a true magenta color. Great, so now I'm going to take this shade and I'm going to place it right here, right at the center of my eyelid. So now I'm going to start bringing in that really gorgeous, intense fuchsia magenta, and I really want to start adding that brightness to the center of my eyelid. So you can see how I'm just packing it on because I really want it to be very, very concentrated right at the center of my eye. So if you want any color to look really concentrated, just do this motion right over here. If you want it to be more sheer, then just do swiping motions. That will give you a more sheer application of color. Great. So once you're done bringing that magenta color to the center part of your eyelid, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So just coat both sides of your brush, tap off the excess, and then we're going to start placing it right over here, so right at the center part of my eye. I like to start off doing stippling motions, and then I'll flip my brush over just to make sure there's no pigment on the other side, and then once I'm done, I will use the tip of the brush just to soften and blend the work that I just did, and then to make sure that it's even more softened, I'm going to take my blending brush and just one time go over it just to make sure there is no harsh lines. Now I'm just going to make this side a little bit more intense. So I'm just going to take one more coat and apply one more layer just right over here. Great, perfect. And whenever you do apply color, be sure to blend. Great, now once I'm done with that, I am going to take the same exact brush and I'm going to use my in-between brush cleaner because I am going to be dipping into a completely different color. So now I'm going to have a fresh, clean brush. And if you do want to flip it over, if you notice that you do have a lot of pigment on this side, you can flip this over and have a fresh side on the other side, so it's totally up to you. And you can also wash these, so if you find that it is getting dirty, you can wash them. Great, so now I'm going to start dipping into a really fun color, so this color right over here. So you can see how it has a little bit more of a lavender tone, so these shades are a little bit more true to a deep purple, and then once we start moving this way, you can see how they're lighter and brighter and they have a little bit more of a lavender tone. So I'm going to dip into this color right over here, and I'm going to coat both sides of my medium blending brush, and I'm going to tap off the excess again just to triple check. Perfect. And now this shade I'm going to take super close to the top part of my lashes and I'm just going to place it right over here. So now I'm starting to take it to the center part of my eye. And this is really, really enhancing that purple and just overall making it look super bright and super fun. And this also has a little bit of a reflective pigment, which is pretty. So it's just overall making it a little bit shinier too. So I'm just taking this color and I'm placing it right at the center of my eye. Great, so once you're done applying this color right at the inside corner, now as you can tell I didn't take anything on the tear duct, so we haven't done the tear duct just yet. We're just focusing right at the inside corner of our eye. So once you're done depositing that color, go ahead and grab your blending brush and just soften everything and start blending it to the center color of our eye. Perfect. Now once we're done with that, we are going to grab our really small brush that we use for the lower lash line. And I'm going to clean it off on my brush cleaner. And we're going to start dipping into a completely different color because I'm going to do the inside corner. I'm going to do the tear duct. So I want it to be really light and really bright. So I'm going to dip into this champagne shade right over here. So this second color right over here. And I'm going to coat both sides of my brush. Perfect. Now I'm going to tap off the excess and I'm going to place this shade right at the inside corner of my eye because I do want it to be really light and really bright. So I don't want to take anything with a lot of pigment right at the inside corner because I do want it overall just to be really light right at the inside corner. So now I'm going to take that same champagne color and apply it to the tear duct right on the other side. Now once you're done applying that really white champagne color to the inside corner of your tear duct, now I want you to dip into this color right over here so you can see how we have this really bright silver color. So I'm going to dip into this silver using my really small brush and I'm going to tap off the excess and now I'm going to take this really beautiful reflective silver and I'm going to place it really close to my lower lash line. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side using that same silver. And I'm just placing it really close to my lash line. Perfect. Now once you're done applying that silver color to the top part of your lashes, now we're going to move on to the lower lash line. So I'm just going to clean this brush off one more time. And now I want to dip into this color right over here. So it's like a little bit more of a pinky purple color. So I'm just going to take my small brush and coat both sides of my brush and I'm going to tap off the excess. And then I'm going to take this really fun, bright, pinky purple color and I'm going to place it right at the inside corner of my eye. So I'm not doing the tear duct because we already did the tear duct with a champagne color. But I just want to add a little brightness right at the inside corner because I do want to overall tie the look together and I do like to mirror whatever we did at the top part on the lower lash line. So we have something that's really light and then it goes to a really bright, beautiful magenta color and then it starts to fade to a purple color. So now I'm going to take the same color and do the same thing on this side. So I'm just placing it right at the inside corner of my eye. Great. Now once you're done with that, grab your blending brush and just soften the work that you just did, just so that way everything is really soft and really blended and again we don't have any harsh lines. Great, once you're done softening and blending, we're going to grab one last color before we start lining and defining our eyes. So for this step, grab your medium-sized blending brush and just wipe it off one more time. And we're going to dip into this last really beautiful, really rich purple color. So this color right over here, just to top it off and just finalize the look. We are going to coat both sides of our brush, and we're going to take this color and we're going to place it right at the outside corner. So I'm just going to take this last and final color and I'm going to place it right at the outside corner, right over here. And then whatever is left over, I'm going to sweep it right into the crease. So this overall just really tied the look together. You can see how it just made it a little bit smokier right at the outside corner and just blended and softened everything into the crease. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to take this really beautiful, rich purple color and I'm going to place it right at the outside corner. So I'm going to connect the lower lash line to the top part of our eye. So just overall connecting all that beautiful color together. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I like to line and define my eyes. So now moving on with eyeliner, I am a huge fan of lining and defining my eyes. Just simply placing eyeshadow on your eye really does enhance and brighten up the color of your eyes. But if you want to overall enhance the shape of your eyes and make your eyelashes look a little bit thicker, that's when eyeliner does come in. So for this specific eyeshadow look, I am going to be using both black and brown eyeliner. But first we're going to start off with the black gel eyeliner. So for this step, I am going to use my gel eyeliner brush from Bobbi Brown. It is her ultra fine eyeliner brush. I went ahead and linked it for you down below. Whenever using a gel eyeliner, it is very important that you use a synthetic brush. A lot of people will use a natural hair brush, but that doesn't really pick up product and glide it evenly. So if you do want to pick up product and distribute it evenly and smoothly, you do want to be sure to use any synthetic brush whenever using a cream product. So just take your brush and dip it into the product and really be sure to coat both sides of your brush, and then you're going to take off the excess on the back part of your hand. Now for this step, I'm going to be tight lining. If you have any questions or if you don't know how to tight line, I teach you in my eyeliner and lashes video. So I teach you step by step how to actually tight line on yourself in the mirror at home. So I'm just going to take this gel liner and I'm going to place it right up underneath my lashes. And for this step, you do want to go all the way to the inside corner. So I went all the way from the outside corner to the inside corner. Now before I move on to the next eye, I do want to show you the before and after. So if I show you right over here, you can see how we do have this really gorgeous placement of eyeshadow, but we don't really have anything defining our lash line. So when I turn a little bit this way and take a look at you in the camera, if you take a look at my eye, you can really see the base part of my lashes, and overall my lashes now look thicker and my eyes look a little bit more open and a little bit bigger. So overall, wearing a little bit of eyeliner really does define the shape of your eye. So I highly recommend wearing eyeliner. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And if you're not a fan of wearing black eyeliner, if you feel like black eyeliner is too harsh, you can get away with a charcoal eyeliner for this look. So just tailor it to your specific personality and your specific makeup look. It's totally up to you. You can customize it. Okay, once you're done tight lining both eyes, now we're going to move on to our lower lash line. So for this step, you're going to need your smoky eyeliner brush, so a brush that is specifically used to blend out eyeliner. It's usually a really dense eyeshadow brush. So if you don't have a brush that's specifically used to blend eyeliner, just find a really tiny brush. So this is your basic eyeshadow brush right over here. So find a smaller version that is really dense that will give you the same effect as what I'm going to do right now. So for this look, I'm going to dip into a chocolate brown eyeliner. So we did black for the top part of our eye, but for the bottom part, I'm going to be using something a little bit softer. So I dipped into this chocolate brown color and I coated both sides of my brush. So now I'm just going to take the excess off on my hand so you can really see the difference between the chocolate brown and the black. So now I'm just going to tap off the excess like this right on my hand, because I do want it to be a really smoky look right at the lower lash line, so you can see how when you do take off the excess, overall it is a little bit smokier. So now you're going to grab your handheld mirror and take this brush, and whatever's left over on the brush, you're going to sweep it right in between your lashes. And when I'm done, you can really see how whatever's left over on your brush does give you definition at your lower lash line, but you don't have this like really harsh line of eyeliner inside your waterline. If you have a really harsh line of eyeliner inside your waterline, it can overall make your eyes look a lot smaller, but you can really see how just taking whatever's left over on your brush, look at how beautiful that is. You do get a really gorgeous definition of eyeliner, but it's not this really harsh line that you have to sit there and blend afterwards, so a lot easier and more subtle and more natural. So I highly recommend this step. So again, just take whatever is left over on your hand and take your handheld mirror, look up, and just place it right up in between your lashes. I absolutely love this step. It just makes your eyeliner just look so seamless and so beautiful, and it lasts all day long. It's waterproof, which is great. So you have this perfectly blended, smoked out eyeliner. Great. So now that I'm done lining and defining my eyes and adding all this color, now I'm going to do my lashes off camera, and I'm going to show you the final look of the Rainbow Shadow Series Magenta tutorial. So I will be right back. Alright, you guys, I just got done doing my lashes and mascara off camera, so this is the final look of the Rainbow Shadow Series Magenta tutorial. I hope you guys love this look just as much as I do. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment me down below. But until next time, I will see you on another episode where we're going to be dipping into so many fun, different colors. But until then, take care and have a beautiful day.